My name is Bill Jesser. I am one of the saddle salesmen and saddle fitters for Saddle Up here in Longmont, Colorado. Today we're going to kind of go over getting some wither measurements so that if you're not able to bring your horse into us, you can bring these measurements down and we can get a really close saddle fit just by taking these. Where we're going to start off with is a pretty universal place on all horses would be to take the cinch groove, which is right here, and we'll come right straight up over his back. And what I'm using is a piece of Romex wire that is 24 inches long. I've marked the center of it at 12 inches, and then I've also put a little R on for the right side so that we keep the sides the same on the horse as we go. And typically you just kind of bend it in half and then just start forming it to kind of fit over his back in this place. And again, we're right here with the cinch groove. Okay, and then we take it over to our cardboard and we trace this out. We will, keeping the bottom part of our wire on the straight edge of the cardboard, so we're like so, and you just trace the inside of this wire, and we'll put a number 2 on this one. Now that takes care of the back gullet hole on a horse, and everybody is always concerned about the front one. So we will remeasure that, doing about a hand's width in front of it. Like so. And then we'll come over to our cardboard again. Again, keeping our wire at the bottom edge of it. We'll take and trace this out again. And to keep these in order, this one now gets a number 1. Now that's the front part of a saddle, so in order to get the complete fit that we need, remembering that this was our starting point, we'll go about 4 inches or a hand's width behind him and rebend our wire so we can start to get our measurements coming back across the barrel. Again, keeping our wires down here on the same way. This is our number 3. And we'll just keep working back till we hit the swirl in the flank. That's probably as far back as you want to go with a saddle skirts anyway. And I'm keeping my mark right down the center of his back, which is kind of nice on him because he has a dorsal stripe, so it kind of keeps it centered up a little better. And we form it to fit, and back over to our cardboard. We will again trace this out. And this one is number 4. The last one is going to be sitting about right in here. This is our fifth and final one. Okay, the one reason I wanted to point out why it's so important to start out with this number back here, it's for this number on the gullet, the width of it. So when we set a bare tree up on here, you want to have your good contact, but if this number is too narrow back here like some of the older saddles, then there's no room for my hand to go through and there's no room for the shoulder to fit up inside there. And the way you can look at this tree, we got good contact all the way along our entire saddle tree. There's about 200 square inches of pressure points to a tree, and we're covering almost 190 of those square inches. So the rest of that will be filled in with a pad so that the saddle will sit down here nice and snug. And as you can see, with just a bare tree with no skirts, with about 2 pounds of pressure, I'm able to rock this horse back and forth, and my saddle tree isn't turning from side to side. Okay, now you can see that we have our patterns drawn out on here, and the next step would be to cut each and every one of them out. There's our first one. One thing I forgot to say a little bit earlier, but by using this and this staying on the right side of that horse, you can see how he's a little heavier shouldered on this one side than what he is on here. This one is a pretty sharp angle, and this one's got a little bit of a bulge to it. Most horses are heavier on one shoulder or the other. That's why I like to have another good reason to have that girth measurement. And then our last one. Now you can bring these wither cutouts to me, and here's the front one. This is on a slate tree, so it's not going to want to stay too good. This is at the cinch groove. This is where your cinches will be lying, and you can see how good a contact we have over most of that bar surface. And then our third one. Again, we have real good bar contact. And here's our fourth one. Again, everything but the very edge of this bar is making contact with the horse. And then the last one would be our back of our bars. And that is really good bar contact. You want to have a little bit of a rise in here so that a horse is able to raise his back to turn and to stop. So this is the saddle that the client has chosen. And again, we take and we can put these down in here. That's got a nice tight fit. I'm getting a lot of bar contact. And again, our second one, really nice through here. Then again, our third one, you can see how this bar really rolls to fit that horse's back. And next to the last one, and then the last one. Now they're all making good contact along the whole bar. In here, if we pull the skirt out of the way, that'll come down and fit, and we have nice contact all the way through here. So this is what these do. This is the way that we can do it without you bringing your horse into us. But please come in and sit in some saddles so we know what to start with. Okay, we showed you how these wither cutouts worked in a saddle that actually fit the horse. So now we're going to show you the difference on one that would not fit this gilding. You'll see that this saddle has enough spread in the front, but when we go to put number 2 in, we have no contact. It just wants to sit here and rock. It's because it's too narrow in the gullet hole. And as we move our way back, you'll see that we're only touching about 5% of our cardboard. And back here we have only 1% of it's touching. And then clear back here on the very end, it doesn't even want to come down and touch. It's just sitting arched right on top of the backbone. So this is why this is really important to us, to get these cutouts so we can get a really good fit for your horse and for you. Now that we have your wither cutouts, bring them on into us at Saddle Up, and we can find a saddle that'll not only fit your horse but will also fit you. So again, bring them on into us at Saddle Up in Longmont, Colorado, and thank you.